This week on It's Happening Out. 50th anniversary of Stonewall, the gay civil rights movement. Gay icons, Marsha P. Johnson, Cher, Will and Grace, and more. Stonewall National Pride Parade, the nation watches live. America goes gay. American businesses support LGBT unlike ever seen before. It's all happening out tonight. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And your host, fashion designer Carlos Marrero. Lifestyle expert Napoleon Plays. Trans activist Aaron Phoenix. Reality star Chef Josie. DJ Diva Power Infiniti. Log Cabin Republican Joe Brookman. And our host, Al Ferguson. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, hello, America, and welcome to the National Stonewall Parade and Pride coming from Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We affectionately say it's happening out, the gayest place on planet Earth. We have an amazing show for you this afternoon. We're going to do this special show of It's Happening Out, and then we are in approximately 57 minutes. We're going to be broadcasting the parade coming right down this street, Wilton Drive here in South Florida. We're very excited that you've joined us, and you could see from the opening drone segment, this is a very exciting community here in South Florida. You know, It's Happening Out comes to you every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. to America. And we call ourselves America's most popular live gay talk show. And here's the proof of it. You're seeing it in the show slide that we're showing in front of you. This last Wednesday show, our tribute to Pulse, and our national show had 355,000 people watch our show. And this is the third week in a row that we've crossed 300,000 viewers.
That's
isn't that very exciting?
Thank you guys for watching.
You see a slide here. We thank you for all of the tributes that came in on our program from Pulse, Michelle Visage, and RuPaul's Drag Race. People around the country commenting on our tribute that we did Wednesday on Pulse, on It's Happening Out. Now, finally, we show you the slide. We remind you we come to America every Wednesday night at 8 p.m., and we continue to find gay culture and gay community, and we appreciate you watching us. So we remind you, this is a live show. I can't stop whatever crazy is getting ready to come out of these people's mouths. We're just like Washington, which I'm going to tell you about here in a moment. And
Don't
it
talk
goes
about
on.
me.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't talking about you, Joe. It's just like every place else in America. This is live, and you're going to see it unedited to the entire nation. We want to remind you to like us and share us. And we want to share this little video about how to watch a watch party or start a watch party right now for It's Happening Out. My really good friend and host, Napoleon Plays, he's going to tell you. Watch this.
When viewing our live show in your app, please click share. After clicking share, your screen should change and you can then click watch party. On the next screen, you can write text to your viewing audience and then click start watch party. You've done it. Enjoy your party.
Well, it's as simple as that, America. Start a watch party right now. If your friends haven't seen It's Happening Out, America's most popular live gay talk show, now is the time for you to share it with them, and you can start a watch party right now. As we told you, we're coming from Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It is the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots. We were just talking about this before we went on the air, that the notation of the first Pride was actually a riot.
Right.
And we are celebrating that. This is the official kickoff of the next 2 weeks of our Stonewall celebrations all over America. And we couldn't be in a better place in America to kick it off in the gayest place on planet Earth, right here in South Florida at Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale. And let us have a special guest to help us kick off the Stonewall celebration. I would like to introduce where every gay person all over America knows who this person already is. One of the greatest political allies that America... Joe, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I thought you were going to introduce me.
Yeah, that's later, Joe. That's later. One of the greatest allies that the gay community in America have.
Thank you.
And of course, that is the Congresswoman from the 23rd District, Debbie Wasserman Schutlz.
Thank you
Welcome,
so much.
Debbie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on It's Happening Out. Tell us a little bit
pleasure.
about why you come to an event like this to celebrate Stonewall Pride.
Well, I never miss the Stonewall Pride Parade here in Wilton Manors. And so my affectionate name, which I always make sure to say when we kick off the festival down the street, my affectionate name for Wilton Manors is that it is the straight-friendly city of the United States of America.
Exactly. Now, to make sure America knows, because which category do you place yourself in?
No, I am straight, but
So she's
Not that
our
there's
token
anything wrong with
straight
it.
friendly.
I'm
here
happy
in
to be the
Wilton Manors.
token straight person at the table.
Do your
and
parents know?
They do.
Yeah.
It was a difficult discussion.
That's a good joke. Do your parents know
You're very
you're
brave.
straight? Right. All
They
right.
tried to come to terms with it.
People from the crowd yelling to Debbie. Debbie, help us for America. Now, everybody knows about Greenwich Village and
Right.
Hell's Kitchen and the Castro in West Hollywood. Help frame what this community really is.
So all kidding aside, the reason that I refer to Wilton Manors that way, and the reason that we affectionately refer to her community as the gayest place in the United States of America, is because this community is an absolute haven. It is a place that the LGBTQ community can come to thrive, have a real connected, unified community where mostly all of the leaders, activists, organizations are led by the LGBT leadership community. The business owners down Wilton Drive, nearly every business is owned by, at least one LGBT person, right? We've got one at the table. But more importantly is that people need to understand that Wilton Manors is mainstream. It's mainstream. It is a destination. This is a very cool place to come. My own kids, I have 20-year-old twins and a 15-year-old, and we live in Weston, which is all the way across the county, a pretty good distance. And to come someplace cool to hang out, they come to Wilton Manors.
Oh, very nice. Debbie, first off, I had the pleasure of meeting you and interviewing you at Diversity Honors last month.
Yes,
An
so it's great to be back with
amazing
you
event
again.
here in South Florida. One of the things that I think is interesting in kicking off the show of It's Happening Out at Stonewall is to talk about the political climate in America. There is so much animosity. There's so much division. I don't want to get into the politics. By the way, I don't know if you're sitting next to a log cabin Republican
I thought he was
from
gonna catch
Washington, D.C.
Is that why I broke out in
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
It's called red rash. That's what we call it, red rash, right? Joe's a
We're
nice
going to work
guy,
on
though.
conversion therapy for you.
Conversion. Wait, we're going to outlaw that in Florida, by the way.
That's
We're
where we
gonna
go.
outlaw
Yes.
it.
Well, I'm just talking about turning blue red.
Yes, exactly. All right, we're purple, going to go blue eventually. All right. But my question is, without getting into the politics, that's not for today.
Right.
What do you think an event like this can do to help propel finding more common ground between our community and the broad community and the politics of America?
I think events like the Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival really are a place to come together to celebrate in a unified way the simple truth that is at the core of our constitutional principles in America, and that is equality. That we are all equal. under the law, that we need to make sure that the laws of the United States of America reflect that we need to celebrate diversity and community, and that we need to make sure that we give people an opportunity to be who they are and to fully embrace it. And, all kidding aside, to make sure that there's not just acceptance, not just tolerance, but that it is absolutely universally understood that when you are born who you are, and you should be able to live equally, productively, like any other American.
America, we are so glad to have Lady Gaga with us here today at It's Happening Out. Wait, I'm a little confused. Debbie, last question. Debbie's going to be in the parade. We're going to show you as she comes right by us here. We're broadcasting on the main stage here at Stonewall, the National Parade and Pride here in Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Last question before I let you go, because I know you've got to get off to the parade itself.
Sure.
How excited are you that next week all of the Democratic candidates are coming in their first televised 2 weeks national debate and right here in South Florida? How exciting is that?
It's absolutely thrilling. It's not at all surprising. We're the biggest swing state in the country. Yep. Florida is the political prize for any candidate, and there's no way that the next president of the United States will be president without winning this state. So making sure that we can showcase our 23 incredible candidates to the United States of America and the world, quite frankly, right here from South Florida and Miami is absolutely amazing. And underscoring, particularly for people who watch this show, that any one of those 23 candidates, no offense, would be better than the person who occupies 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue right now.
Maybe offense. No. Today we're all Americans. Yeah. We're all Americans today.
Well, this is why, and you probably will not see this, so I'm just going to tell you.
Okay.
I posted to my page and my fan page that secretly I'm fangirling.
Yeah.
Right now. I don't fangirl.
That is so nice that you would say that about me too. So nice.
Thank you.
Debbie.
Yes. Thank you.
Debbie, we wish you a great pride. I know all of gay America.
I wore my shirt because we do all need to remember.
I just noticed that.
Yes.
Pride was a riot.
Pride was a riot.
That's an awesome message. America, we're going to hear a lot from Debbie Wasserman Schutlz in Florida. In Florida, you're going to hear a lot from Debbie Wasserman Schutlz because there's a lot to do because Florida is the key to 2020. November 3rd. 2020, Florida is a key. So America, keep watching. Debbie, thank you so much for being here, and we wish you a great ride.
Success. Look forward to joining you many times in the future.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right, if you'll stand by, we want to tell you before we let Debbie go, we want to show you, America, really an explanation of what Stonewall is all about. If you're not aware, on June 28, 1969, a riot broke out in Greenwich Village at the Stonewall Inn. And we've prepared this package, which we think will explain very well about what Stonewall is all about. Watch this.
My name is Jay Toole, and I was at Stonewall the night of the uprising. What was it like to be a butch lesbian in the 60s? It was just a hard time. They were relentless. There was always one cop that would grab us, the butchers, and beat us up, put us in the cop car, arrest us, for sexual deviancy, which is not having the 3 articles of female clothing on. That's not on the law books. They would tell us that's why they were arresting us, but it's not a real charge. Life was really hard. I was homeless. I was homeless from the age of 13 up into my 50s. It was, doing anything you can to survive on the streets back here. Christopher Street was always welcoming. It was always a safe place. And Stonewall was like a haven. It was a place that we could go to, be with our own people, hang out, dance, listen to music. Cops always raided the bars. And when the cops would come in, you would hope that you weren't the one that they were going to arrest. So the night of Stonewall, my little family was sleeping in Washington Square Park, and news filtered throughout the village very fast. and we all made our way up. The riots were going on already. People were screaming, people were throwing things, and the cops were pushing people down towards Greenwich Avenue. You know, it was lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, gender non-conforming, two-spirit, non-binary, asexual, queer, question. It was straight people. It was everybody that was in these communities. So I don't think it was just because people were arrested, you know, that night, because we were arrested all the time. It was because there was so many different communities, you know, that came together. Every shade of us, every sexuality, we were all out there, one whole community, to say, stop it. You know, you gotta stop arresting us. You gotta stop harassing us. You gotta stop beating us up. You gotta stop putting us in jails. And that was amazing. So today my life is a lot different. Sage has actually been a lifesaver for me. When I became homeless again, I got a hold of them, and they gave me a case manager, and she helped me get doctors because I was sick. They helped me look for housing, and she calls me, you know, to check up on me, make sure I'm all right. Walking in those doors and not having to worry about, you know, somebody putting me down was a completely different experience for me. I could be myself. It was just a safe environment. That night of Stonewall showed that we can come together. I feel like to move forward, we have to lift up everybody. It's a community as a whole.
Well, America,
We are up. Yeah.
America, as we've told you, it's happening out. America's most popular live gay talk show. 350,000 of you watching across America and around the world. Stonewall and that video package that we did really perfectly encapsulates what the Stonewall riots were all about. It was a big moment in our history. And we start by basically saying it is our civil rights movement. And the celebration of June 28th and then World Pride in New York kicked off with the Stonewall Pride Parade here in Fort Lauderdale. Wilton Manors, Florida, really begins our final 2-week celebration of the 50th anniversary. Any thoughts about the beginnings of Stonewall?
So y'all gonna stop looking at me crazy now when I talk about protesting things? Just saying, you know.
Actually, it's very funny.
birth of
I
all
have
of
to
this.
say broadly, get it right off the table. I knew, of course, a lot about Stonewall, but one of the things that I did not know as clearly as I should have in my history, gay guru here, is that Stonewall's celebration was principally trans people and drag queens, and then super marginalized people, effeminate men, for example, etc.
Drug addicts, sex
drug
workers.
addicts.
Yep.
Amazing to me. Thoughts about Stonewall?
Yes, I'm glad that you brought that up because that leads me to the point. When we have gay men in our community that seem to look down on drag queens and transgender individuals that don't want to take up the fight when it comes to trans, you have to realize that all this, every Pride celebration, our gay rights movement, the doors that we have knocked down, the liberties that we have been able to gain, all started with drag queens and transgenders and people that were marginalized. So really, on behalf of drag queens and transgender, you're welcome.
Right? Think a black or brown trans woman.
And lesbians. Let's not forget those
Right,
ladies
right,
who
right.
are on
True,
the front
true,
lines as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the femmes of color across the spectrum. I like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. We're going to show you many things about Stonewall. We're going to tribute it in different ways. But I want to move on to our next guest here. And in South Florida, we broadcast our show Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. It's happening out as America's most popular live gay talk show. More than 350,000 a week watch the show. And we broadcast from a great hotel here, only about 6 minutes away from the famous Wilton Drive, and it's called the Fort Lauderdale Grand Hotel. And we'd like to welcome next the general manager from the Grand Hotel, Frank Hassenwinkel. Frank, welcome
Thank
to
you.
It's Happening Out.
Frank.
We're happy that you're here. First off, I have to ask, it doesn't matter at all. Debbie Wasserman Schutlz was making the joke about straight friendly or gay friendly. Which friendly are you?
Well, I'm personally only one-way friendly, and you know I'm the community, so I'm very...
Yes.
I have a few straight friends, let's put it that
okay,
way.
all right. Enough said.
Some of the good ones.
We broadcast the show there on Wednesday nights. We broadcast our specials. that we do there, the Father's Day special that we recently did. We do a pool party on Sundays for the gay community, and we have some special events coming up through the year. The Grand flies a large rainbow flag, and in fact, the courtyard, one of the things that we'll show later about the Grand, is in full regalia. The entire pool courtyard has 36 15-foot by 5-foot rainbow flags all over the courtyard.
Absolutely. Well, you're taking all my talking points.
I was going to say. All right, now, Frank.
Keep on talking. You do
right. Tell us a little bit about the Grand. Why are they making this commitment to the gay community?
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me over here as a representative. So great to have all of you, and especially you, Al, to represent us. And
Especially you.
all of you, but here's the mouthpiece.
We're okay.
I like that.
I didn't say it's the prettiest, but all of you, you know. He is
hair flip.
Well,
waited his whole life for that.
we really value this platform because the new ownership, about last year, you know, ownership changed, and the new owners realized that as the biggest full-size hotel close to the drive, we definitely need to take more of an outreach approach to the community. We want to be part of the community, which we are thanks to you, with our charity pool parties and with various events like the talk show that we have, that you're hosting. Don't want to go too much into detail, but we are so proud to be part of this. And I'm the best example. I just came onto the team of the management of the hotel recently. I'm part of the community, and I represent, I think, the commitment of the hotel to make this the second gayest place on the planet.
That's right.
Wilton Manors is there, but we're just a little bit north of here. So we want to have more of the community in
That's
our
right.
hotel.
And Frank says something that you don't know, America, but what's really interesting about the Fort Lauderdale Grand Hotel is they have a gay pool party here in South Florida every single Sunday, hosted by the show. The show does not make one penny. The hotel does not make one penny. It is a charity event, and for 52 consecutive weeks, they raise money at the pool party for charities, many gay, many that are not gay, here in South Florida, supported by the gay community. So we congratulate the Grand Hotel for their commitment to the community. The go forward. What do you think the future holds for the Grand Hotel?
Well, exciting talks have been going on. I see that the ownership is talking to various different parties out of town. I don't want to say too much, but does the word PornCon mean anything to our viewers?
I was going to say, you were giving power very
I don't know if
pointed
Jeff
look.
Stryker is still alive, you know?
Actually, he is still alive. He's 54 years old. I cannot believe I know his age. He is 54 years old.
Well,
Somebody has a favorite.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe
so
we'll
the Grand
see him
Hotel
there.
is hosting Labor Day weekend, PornCon. I'd like 30 of the greatest porn stars, adult entertainment stars in America, in the world, are coming to the Grand Hotel Labor Day
absolutely.
weekend.
Well, it'll be lots of entertainment. We have the ballroom going with them and the different venues. We have so many different spaces that they're going to use. I think they will be all in our suites. We have 50 suites. Anybody wants to luxuriate, please do come and see
50
us.
suites.
Yes.
Great. Well, we tell you, America, and internationally, you should come to South Florida. We always say, we joke, this is the gayest place on planet Earth. And as you come to South Florida to experience the gayest place on planet Earth, the place to stay is the Fort Lauderdale Grand Hotel.
It's become my home away from home, personally.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
It's minutes from this magnificent drive at the heart of all of these gay businesses, galleries, restaurants, bars,
all the
everything
debauchery
else
you could want.
that is here in Fort Lauderdale Wilton Manors. So, Frank, thank you very much. And before
Thank you.
I let you go, you'll be in the parade.
I will.
Is something that we do every week, and we've done it from the beginning. It is called The Road to Stonewall. And we have celebrated many of some of the greatest gay icons in the world. And we want to show you a little bit about that in this Stonewall Parade special. And the first one we want to show you is, of course, Elizabeth Taylor. Watch this.
Of course.
I could never understand why they couldn't be afforded the same rights and protections as all of the rest of us. There is no gay agenda. It's a human agenda. All of us should be treated the same, and GLAAD knows that. Why shouldn't gay people be allowed to marry? Those against gay marriages say marriage should only be between a man and a woman. God, I of all people know that that doesn't always work.
America, why you're here tonight?
Why? You mean you don't know already?
Tell us again.
I'm here to help fight AIDS. Nobody was doing anything about it. And it made me so angry. And I thought, it's got to start with someone. I'm doing the same thing that a lot of my friends are doing. They're talking about it and getting angry. So I started AMFAR. Each day in this world, 5,000 people become infected with HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. Don't become one of them.
Look at how many you are. In just 2 short weeks, there will be as many new infections as there are people here tonight. When I went to the Senate, they held a hearing, and a lot of senators and congressmen turned up. I think some of them just wanted to see what Elizabeth Taylor looked like and how fat she was. Actually, I was skinny at the time. I am not here in Washington to make people like me. I'm here to speak about a national scandal. Nowhere in this new urban plan have I heard talk of fighting the ravages of AIDS. I accept this award in honor of all the men, women, and children with AIDS who are waging incredibly valiant battles for their lives. I will remain here as rowdy and activist as I have to be, and God willing, for as long as I have to be. I have put aside everything else, and I have dedicated my life to working for AIDS. Protect yourselves, love yourselves, respect yourselves, because I will keep on telling you until you do, and I won't give in. And I won't give up, because the world needs you to live.
Well, as everybody knows, Elizabeth Taylor was one of our major icons, 50s, 60s, 70s, out there advocating for the gay community long before it became a trend in America to do it. We're going to move on. We have another very special guest with us in this Stonewall special. And of course, you recognize him because of what an incredible ally we have in Washington, and that is Congressman Ted Deutch. Ted is the chairman of the House Ethics Committee. I imagine you're pretty busy these days.
There is a lot going on.
And equally busy, he is the vice chairman of the House Equality Caucus, and amazing things going on in the Equality Act. Welcome to It's Happening Out, Ted Deutch.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Tell us, Ted, about, everybody, a big lots of applause for Ted Deutch, Congressman Deutch. Tell us about why this is important to you, the celebration of Stonewall, and especially here in South Florida, Wilton Drive, Wilton Manors.
Well, coming to Wilton Manors anytime is a highlight for me, but it's pride, and there's no better place as the vice chair of the Equality Caucus and as the person who proudly represents this community in Washington, there's no better place to be and no better time to be here than for pride, than marking 50 years since Stonewall, 4 years since Obergefell and marriage equality, and recognizing that as much as there is still to do, it's a great opportunity to come out and celebrate the LGBT community.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about the process of the Equality Act. We've reported, as America knows, we're America's most popular live gay talk show. About 350,000 of you watched when we reported on the embracement of the Equality Act in committee first. 100% of the Democrats.
Yep.
0% of the Republicans. We talked about that. Then the House vote.
Camera zoom to Joe.
We can talk about that.
We don't know what happened. We did get 3
We did.
Republicans.
We did.
We got 3.
Yeah.
And 100%, virtually 100% of the Democrats. What is the movement of the Equality Act and the embracement to civil rights? What did that mean to you in terms of seeing that historic moment?
It was really powerful because of the message that it sends, not just to the LGBT community, but to America as a whole. It's just a really clear statement that hatred isn't going to decide where someone lives, where they work, where they get educated, or how they live their lives. And to be able, as the United States House of Representatives, to take action to broaden our civil rights laws so that they are fully inclusive and recognize full equality is a really, really special moment.
I completely agree with you. I'm curious if you could help explain. We joke always that this is the gayest place on planet Earth.
Yeah.
How do you explain, from your perspective, Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, and specifically having the major metropolitan mayor, the Wilton mayor gay, the city councilman gay, Debbie Wasserman Schutlz in support, and having the ethics, but the vice chair of the Equality Committee. How is it all coming out of this community nationally? It's really national leadership for the gay community. How do you explain that?
It really is, and I'm so grateful that you've decided to focus on what's happening here. Look, equality really matters, and in South Florida, we celebrate our diversity all the time, and you see it in the different cultures that call South Florida home. And Wilton Manors, as you point out, gayest place. I've heard you say gayest place on earth. It is the second gayest community in America on a per capita basis, and people come here because everyone is welcome, because we celebrate equality, because the weather is beautiful, and if you can combine a place that everyone wants to visit and a place that's welcoming to everyone who wants to visit, I think it's no wonder that Wilton Manors has become the leader in the world that it really is.
I think it really goes to show how great a place can be when you have gay leadership.
Hello.
Now, if we can just take that model and get a gay president in office, wait, imagine all of America.
Is there one right?
America, you can be like this too.
Are you announcing your candidacy?
Speaking of that, Ted, tell us a little bit from your perspective of what you think about the first major national debate for 2020 taking place right here in South Florida with all of the major Democratic candidates. What a coup.
Yeah.
And what do you think about that?
Well, it's really exciting for our community, for the whole South Florida community. It's in Miami, but it's Miami and Broward and Palm Beach County and everyone coming together to host this. And the reason it's so important to have it there is for what we've just been talking about, that there is this place where we are is representative of the whole country. So I'm looking forward to having a good discussion among the candidates about equality and how it is that Mitch McConnell refuses to let the Equality Act come up for a vote in the Senate, and about immigration reform, and about all of the ways that we celebrate our diversity and equality here. That's going to be front and center, and there's no better place to do it than South Florida.
Yeah. Piggybacking on that, Chairman of the House Ethics Committee, I can't, even in this celebration of Pride, not take an opportunity to ask where are you and where is the House, and what do you think is going to happen next in terms of what's going on with the president and what's going to happen?
We'll take your 30-page essay after the show and we'll review it.
Well, forget the 30-page essay. Can I give you the 450-page Mueller report?
That's right. No obstruction, no collusion.
Right. So I'll tell you, this is a great time to have this conversation. I'm a senior member of the Judiciary Committee. We had a hearing this week where we got to point out some of what's in the Mueller report for people who aren't paying attention. And like I like to tell people, we like a good book in our country, but we love a movie. And the Mueller report lays out all of the potential cases of obstruction of justice, But we want a movie. We want to hear from Don McGahn, the president's personal lawyer, and we want to hear from Hope Hicks, and we want to hear from the Attorney General and let them answer the questions so that we can bring to life what's in the Mueller report and then have a clear, I think, what will be a clear path forward on making sure, as the Mueller report reminds us, that no one in America, especially the president, is above the law.
Did our directors and producers hear that? Did y'all make a note of that?
But is there any way that Chairman Nadler will actually lay out all the proof that he said he's had for the last 24 months?
Yeah, well, it would
as opposed to already declaring that the president is convicted.
And y'all were worried about me getting political.
But he has no evidence.
It's such a great question.
But isn't that an ethics issue?
It is such
an ethics issue.
It's such a great question. Will they finally lay out all of the evidence? The answer is yes. If the administration would actually recognize that there is an obligation to cooperate with Congress on behalf of the American people, then instead of stonewalling, then we would finally be able to have this conversation.
But he said he already had it, and it was in clear view. But he won't put it forth.
The investigation,
and he's already declared that he's convicted.
Yes, so the investigation. This is great. So the investigation just started in March. We are just having these hearings, and on Pride, and on a day when we're thinking about Stonewall and celebrating marriage equality, we recognize how important it is to get the American people together. That's what these hearings are going to provide.
And actually, that was the point I was going to make. I love this little exchange. I love this little exchange because it was no. It is absolute proof of the slogan that the first Pride began in a riot, and we're having that conversation right now. Of course, many months ahead, we're going to have this conversation. Congressman Ted Deutch, we really thank you. We really want to come into your office here in South Florida and explore many things because it is happening out. We do think that this is a central issue, and the gay community is paying attention to what is going on. And of course, Florida is a major in-play state on November 3rd, 2020.
You are welcome anytime. Well, I'll welcome all of you. You can bring along some of the viewers. It'll be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So we thank
I'll take you up on that offer.
Congressman Ted Deutch, chairman of the House Ethics Committee, and also the vice chairman of the Equality Caucus. And if you would have a seat, we want to tell you a little something about Stonewall. We're broadcasting today the National Stonewall Parade here at Stonewall Pride in Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But we're broadcasting from the National Stonewall Museum. Yes. It is the greatest lending library museum in the entire world for LGBT, and we're broadcasting right from there. Quite amazing. Let us show you something about the National Stonewall Museum. Watch this. Well, America, as you can see, the National Stonewall Museum is right here in South Florida, not Greenwich Village. People are surprised it's not in New York City.
Yes.
The largest lending library in the world is right here at the National Stonewall Museum. We're broadcasting the National Stonewall Parade and Stonewall Pride. Right here on Wilton Drive.
I know it well. They actually did a exhibit featuring myself.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Oh. Wow.
They did an exhibit.
Did they use the nudes from Grindr or was it from Scrub?
It was my mugshot. But,
the Secret Service picture. Yes.
Yeah, no, they did a exhibit on the ballroom culture.
Oh,
and
very nice.
One of my famous pictures that was done by Dale Stein is me doing a Vogue pose, and so they hung that picture.
Of course, America, you may not know. Of course, you know Power Infiniti. He's a very famous national circuit DJ, but he's the head of the House of Infiniti.
Florida chapter.
The Florida chapter of the House of Infiniti. And so that's wonderful. Wonderful. Any other thoughts about the National Stonewall Museum? Your business is almost adjacent to it.
Yeah, we're a couple blocks away, and we've done a few partnerships as well. And, you know, it's a part of not only giving us a glimpse in, you know, we're always talking about the younger generation not really being so up to speed on all of the happenings of Stonewall, right?
Yeah.
So this is a really great place. If you're in Wilton Manors, you can stop in and you get a little refresher, and you can see, put some faces to the names and to the events that you've heard about.
Yeah.
So you can really start to understand the road to the freedom that we're having today.
Yes, absolutely. That's a bullseye point. And really in my opinion, I say this frequently, one of the core issues of It's Happening Out. We're looking for gay culture, and we're looking for gay community, and the National Stonewall Museum here in Wilton Manors on Wilton Drive absolutely funds it.
Yes.
And I can't wait to go over after the show when the parade finishes and go in and see those Grindr and Scrub nudes. I'm very excited to see that. All right, let's play a little game. Now, most time when you tune in to It's Happening Out on Wednesday nights live at 8 o'clock, we play lots of different kinds of games. One of the games that we play is called This or That. And let's just do a little mini version of that game right now, kind of a Stonewall edition as we start our final 2 weeks of the March to Stonewall. All right, everybody know?
Sounds
everybody
good.
ready?
Ready.
Yes.
A little
This or
that. Now,
This right there.
Yeah.
Yep, that one right there.
You know, we can never take Joe on the road again because all these handsome men, like
Yes,
that one
this.
right there,
Yes,
that one,
that
please
him right
stop
there.
him, have
Or
him
the one
walk
pointing
back, are walking by, and Joe is like a barking dog, just barking.
Another Uncle Joe headline waiting to happen.
Anyways, the last time we tried to take Joe on the road, we got thrown out of the joint. So
Yes, that's right. Orlando, October
The T.
2018.
God.
Right.
This is true.
All right. Let's play this or that. Now, America, how we play this game is I'm going to give a premise or a question, and then I'm going to give 2 choices. I'm losing my sound. I'm going to give 2 choices of this or that. And our panelists, so It's Happening Out, have to make that selection. I'm having, Darren, are we listening to me? I'm having some trouble with sound. Do you want me to use this? Okay. All right. Everybody, let's play this or that. First, Pride celebrations. Justin, I told you, America.
We're live.
We're live. So we're working on it.
We're live from the gayest place on
Okay.
planet Earth.
All right.
And
all
I
right.
saw a couple other thises.
Yes. All right. All
While
right.
we were waiting.
Yeah. All right. You're going to say, by the way, America, the parade is going to start in approximately 16 minutes, and we're going to be showing you every bit of it. There is a huge crowd. They have an anticipated crowd on Wilton Drive today in the gayest place on planet Earth of 100,000 people.
Yes.
We're getting ready to watch an amazing parade celebration.
And this is the first Pride that I can remember that's actually not sweltering hot.
Sweltering, yeah.
Right.
It's actually
Oh,
quite
wait.
cool.
How
It's
would
nice up here anyway.
table work?
Yeah,
Mine's
it's
working
driving me
great.
nuts. My hair will not sit still and stay out of my mouth.
Okay.
Well, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, well,
Hi,
today
how's
we
your-
can trade, girl.
Yes,
I won't look good
your-
with a bald head.
I'm
Did
just
Power-
waiting for
My
the
tutu is
cock-a-doodle-doo.
blowing in the wind
I just
over
put some Pantene Pro V and I'm set.
Right.
when we go to next video package. America, you just watched what I face every Wednesday live at 8 o'clock. The Lions all talk over each other consistently, so I have no idea what they just said.
Someone has to be interesting.
All right, let's play this or that. Everybody ready?
Got it. Let's do it.
All right.
We didn't play that game already?
I'm pretty sure I'm fading in and out in terms of sound. Pride celebrations. Pride celebrations. This, I prefer them to be in the summer, being traditional of the celebration of Stonewall. Or that. Now remember Florida, remember America, we're in Florida, so it's spectacular in January here. That. I like it when it's winter and everything is fun.
I'm gonna have to say this. I hate the heat. I hate sweating like this, but I'm all about the tradition of Stonewall.
Tradition.
It's too important.
Tradition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was a that.
You like the winter better.
I prefer the winter.
Yeah.
No.
America, if
especially
you didn't,
as a drag performer, it's better for me.
if you didn't watch our Pride Fort Lauderdale broadcast of that parade, it was right on the beach in February. It was pretty nice.
It was.
It was pretty nice.
It was
All
gorgeous.
right. What do you think?
I'm gonna say this. I don't mind. I'm a little Filipino, so I can stand it.
You're a little Filipino.
Yeah, I don't
Really?
sweat. I don't really.
I thought you were from Norway. You look like Norwegian. Oh, wait. No, you don't.
Yeah, come on.
Joe, what is it for you?
I'm
This
going
or
to
that?
say this.
This?
Because I think today is absolutely beautiful. Yes, it's a little warm, but if y'all haven't been to summer in D.C. where the humidity is like 3 times this, y'all ain't been no place. This is really nice.
Well, you have your own personal AC too, though. I mean,
that's true.
it helps a little bit.
But yeah,
it helps a little bit.
if every Pride celebration was like a summer in D.C., then I would say I'd like the summer too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just used to the Pride celebrations being down here where my Mac is melting off within the first 10
Yeah.
minutes.
People frequently talk about coming to South Florida in the summer. I have done 3 Capitol Fourths at the Capitol, the PBS broadcast. A couple of times I've been invited as a guest.
Humble brag. Humble brag.
Name drop.
Name drop.
And it was like 104 degrees and super humidity. I mean, it was like an oven. Terrible.
That's enough.
All right. Next question. This or that. We're going to choose this or that. Another question. Pride celebrations. This or that. I would choose New York City. Liza Minnelli, right down Broadway. Or that. I love the celebrities. Los Angeles. This or that. Pride celebrations. New York or L.A.?
This.
New York. Come
This.
on.
It sounds like maybe we've all had a little experience.
Yeah. If you've ever been to a
Been there, but I think L.A. might be a lot of fun.
Well, you don't agree with us on anything.
LA is definitely a lot of fun, but that being said, it's still New York.
New York, baby.
I think, you remember the old Beverly Hillbillies and them getting out and out to Hollywood they go?
Amen.
I'm just telling you.
Amen.
I'm just telling you. The boys are the most beautiful in the world.
One of my daughters, her nickname is Ellie Mae.
All right. So
'Cause she
we
wore
have a
fluffy
split
dresses and tennis
decision.
shoes.
3 New York, 2 Los Angeles. All right. That's our game called This or That. Now, as we've told you, we play this game. It's not a game. We do this segment at It's Happening Out called The Road to Stonewall. And we're getting ready in video package number 7, Jared. And by the way, I have to call out, this is as hard as you can do. We're not NBC, but Power thinks he is. He's the peacock here at NBC.
He ain't heard a word in the last 10 minutes.
All right. Peacock. This is as hard as you can do in terms of production for a live show. So we congratulate our production team. We're getting ready to show you another celebration of the Road to Stonewall, our march of the gay icons that were important to us. And here's one that we bring back to you on our celebration to the Road to Stonewall. How can you talk about gay rights and gay icons and not talk about Cher? Watch this.
Well, you're so fabulous and you've been such a supporter of our community. What do your LGBTQI fans mean to you?
I've known gay people since I was 9 years old. You know, I know about Stonewall. I've seen firsthand what people have had to go through.
Chef, thank you so much. It's an honor.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you.
When Chaz and I had this discussion over the years. I think everybody knows how freaked out I was to find out he was gay. What I want to say is you are the most courageous person I know, and you really deserve this award. Whatever someone wants to do, it's not, whatever you want to do is what you should do. As long as you have peace with it, that's, makes you happy and you're not hurting anybody, you do what you want to do. That's what you get to do in life, and you only get to do it for a short time. Everything changes. Like, bullying is a trend for everyone. I don't get that trend, but it seems to me that maybe we're a less nice generation. I think that, art is art, and thank God I don't have the responsibility of deciding what's too far. And that's a special art, to be able to turn whatever you have into, it's like spinning straw into gold. You turn whatever you have into being creative. It's about energy.
Actually, you think so? Oh!
You have such a huge, following, and a particularly huge and popular gay following. Like, gay men just started coming to your concerts. You know what it is with you and gay men? Well, we hit the streets of Chicago in search of the answer, and we asked all kinds of people.
I think Cher is a gay icon because she is genuine and she doesn't want to be judged.
Cher is an icon to many of us because she's a survivor.
It's one of those things where out of the ashes she rises up once again to give you something bigger and better.
She's an icon for so many gay men because they want to wear those Bob Mackie outfits.
We hear the word icon used a lot these days describing people like me. But as far as I'm concerned, a true icon is the woman being honored here tonight. Since the day our founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence, our country has been run almost exclusively by old white men. Thankfully, because of Nancy and other strong women, this is changing. Nancy's a fighter. She won't back down. She muscled through the Affordable Health Care Act, and she isn't afraid to go toe-to-toe with a bully and beat him at his own game. Gay men, and I'm sure all gay women as well, but somehow gay men and I have got this little bond that we have. And I think it's because they feel like they're a little bit outside. They're a little bit outsiders. And I have, in my entire life, I'm a little bit of an outsider. No matter what I conquer or what I get good at or whatever, I just always feel like the odd one out.
Hi, Cher, you're amazing. And call me Colette. It's like a full show in just every sense of the word, and I think she's lived such an amazing life.
Okay, now it's good. Now it feels good. How'd it go, Cher? It went great. Toodaloo.
Okay, America, as you can see, Cher is one of the leading gay icons in America on our Road to Stonewall celebration. You're watching It's Happening Out, America's most popular live gay talk show. We're coming live to America and the world right now. 350,000 of you will watch the broadcast. We're coming from the National Stonewall Parade and Stonewall Pride right here in South Florida. I'm breaking up still. So, Cher is our celebration on the road to Stonewall. Next, we want to tell you about... Help me with the live notices.
Okay, sure.
No, No, we don't have to move on. Just the explanation that we're live.
Okay, yes. So right now we're broadcasting live from Wilton Manors. We're here on Wilton Drive, where the parade is going to begin in about 40 minutes.
So as you can see, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Exactly.
Live.
Wait, why has this big thing been moved to my mouth? I do not know.
I mean, it's subliminal messages.
Right. All right. So a bit of a sound problem issue that we have, but we're going to move on. Next thing we want to tell you about in celebration of Stonewall is the big news this week at the New York Police Department. The commissioner of the New York Police Department did a big announcement going back and talking about Stonewall and what the police did on June 28, 1969. First off, before we begin in telling you this story, watch what the police commissioner of New York City did this week.
I think it would be irresponsible of me as we go through World Pride Month not to speak of the events at the Stonewall Inn in June of 1969. Well, I'm certainly not going to stand up here and pretend to be an expert on what happened at Stonewall. I do know what happened should not have happened. The actions taken by the NYPD were wrong, plain and simple. The actions and the laws were discriminatory and oppressive, and for that, I apologize. To the LGBTQ community that this would never happen in NYPD 2019.
Well, as you can see, the announcement by the commissioner of New York's Police Department brought us to a really big moment this week. It took 50 years. You could argue it took 50 years to do it, but the end result is he did cross the finish line. And right prior to Stonewall's celebration and the National Parade on June 30th, the commissioner of the New York Police Department did it. First off, what do y'all think about that?
I have mixed feelings for sure, but I think it's a sign of progress, hopefully, and I think
I'll do it for you.
hopefully we'll continue in that upward direction because there's a lot of things to be healed in a lot of different communities.
Yeah,
that's a good start.
Other thoughts?
I just think it's amazing that they made a statement, just trying to pull everybody together, acknowledging what happened, apologizing for it is one really positive step.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people who are feeling, polar, I guess, opposite experiences of the apology. But we really have to be like, okay, look, any step forward is a step forward, guys. We can't, deny those movements forward because it opens up the conversation for all of us.
That's what Pride is about. We've got to fight against the bad and all that, but we've got to celebrate the good too.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. But we still have miles to go before we sleep, like I always say.
Sure, absolutely.
And, that being said, yes, we still have issues. The police department still has issues when it comes to how they treat transgender in the communities and how they treat transgender offenses. But this apology shows that they have come a long way. And if you can acknowledge that there was wrong, you have hope to recognize what is wrong going forward.
Yeah. It's interesting to me as we do this special at the National Stonewall Parade and Stonewall Pride. We've had so many dignitaries from Washington, so many people talk about the importance of this moment. It's interesting to me that we come from a community here in South Florida where the major metropolitan mayor is gay, Wilton Manors mayor is gay, the city council is gay, our representation of the ethics committee chairman is representing our community, and we have a presidential candidate that's going to be here in South Florida in 2 weeks that is gay, running for president.
Power Infiniti.
And right, and we also have our first openly gay U.S. senator. And I thought it was interesting in terms of what she said on Brian Williams this week, remarking about what the commissioner of the New York Police Department said. Let us show you a little bit of that. Watch this.
Final question is about Pride. As the first in our history LGBT member of the U.S. Senate, the NYPD, I'll give you
Yes.
4 more letters, apologized today for their reaction, what's known for 50 years now as the Stonewall riots in Greenwich Village. A bellwether event. Step in the right direction?
Absolutely. You know, I think about what happened those 50 years ago. And as we celebrate Pride, it is a remarkable anniversary. I think about brave people who spoke out, who, after nightly acts of police oppression, finally became visible and pressed back. It started the modern day gay liberation movement, now LGBTQ movement for civil rights. It allows us to think about how much progress we've made, but also how much more we have to do. We have to pass the Equality Act, so regardless of where you live, people won't be evicted or fired or discriminated against in other ways. But I have to say that symbolism from New York Police Commissioner O'Neill was really powerful. And it reminded me of some of the recent reenactments of the voting rights march from Selma to Montgomery. When they observed through reenactment, then the Alabama police, state police, line up and salute the marchers.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, our first openly gay U.S. Senator makes of what I think an amazing observation. It's very similar in Stonewall of the gay civil rights movement, like the African American black civil rights movement. And I loved her reference to Selma. I watched the Selma anniversary and her point of how touching it was of the reenactment of walking across the Selma Bridge with the Alabama state troopers lined up saluting the marchers as they crossed the bridge. In many ways, that's what the New York Police Commissioner did this week. What did y'all think about our openly gay U.S. Senators' observations? Any thoughts?
There's powerful symbolism in that, in both of those situations, really powerful. You know, like Power said before, if you can acknowledge the wrong and that, you know, look forward to the right, we've got something. That's what activism is all about, is that hope that we can always do better. And I think this is a perfect example of maybe mixed, you know, nuanced conversation, but it's a step forward.
Yeah, the conversation is what sparks action. You know, we're not just reacting to life. We're responding to the challenges as a society, and specifically as an LGBTQAI community.
Right. All right for that, girl.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's what It's Happening Out is all about, is having that conversation.
Yes, having the conversation. Speaking of that, America, we want to let you know that we are probably minutes away. I can see the lineup of the National Stonewall Parade, and we're going to bring it to you live, and you're going to see the parade itself come right down Wilton Drive here in the gayest place on planet Earth, Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Speaking of the gayest place, we do this segment, and we've done it since the show started, September 20th, 2018. The first show of It's Happening Out, we broadcast by saying we're the first live gay talk show in America. Today, we say we're the most popular live gay talk show in America. When we started, about 18,000 people. Last week, 350,000 of you watched our show. And we've done something consistent right from the beginning, which was called The Road to Stonewall. And we have celebrated our great gay icons. This is an interesting one because it's not a person, it's a thing. Unusual in celebrating the gay community and the gay icons. And on the road to Stonewall, we could not finish our march to our 50th anniversary without celebrating Will and Grace. Watch this.
It was a phenomenon that changed television forever.
Eyebrow plucker, leg waxer, parasite, overbite, lady, tramp, underdeveloped cat.
Will and Grace, they're besties. They share an apartment. He's gay, she's straight, both unlucky in love. Jack is also gay, lives across the hall, and is best friends of Karen, who's rich, racist, and a big fan of Trump.
You will never see two gay men kissing on network television.
It's a gay network, for God's sake. The symbol is a peacock.
Gay sex is so hot.
When we did the show, we really focused on LGB. When we stopped there at B, I know I want to continue through the alphabet. T, Q, I, and, sexual identity and gender identity, that's what is being discussed right now in our culture.
The show sort of became de rigueur. I got married to Taye Diggs. I made out with Taye Diggs at 9 o'clock on a Thursday night in 2004 or whatever it was, and nobody batted an eye.
The truth of the matter is that we have tons of work to do still. I mean, people still don't quite understand, which is, another great reason Will and Grace is back on the air, because if you don't have the words to explain it to your family, because you can say like Will and Grace, or like Ellen DeGeneres, or who's ever out in a public, like Jess Cagle, like whoever, Andy Cohen, Anderson Cooper. There's so many more examples now to help people and give them tools to communicate to kids and their families that being gay is as normal as being straight.
And everybody forgets that that's what we did, that 13 years ago, a black man and a white man were kissing on a sitcom, and nobody wrote about it. The press was over us by then. So a lot of what we did just kind of got accepted in a way. And so it's insane right now to listen to some of the anti-gay crap that's going on in the States and think, have we all forgotten that only 13 years ago, this was just another day in paradise? There's a lot of people out there that might fall prey to voting that way, but still love Will and Grace. And that's where we can be of service, that we can get into some of those living rooms. The living rooms where maybe they don't think the two fellas should get married, but they still love those two gay fellas. And that's where we get to go and go, okay, if you love us, if you love Jack, maybe next time you're voting, we don't have to say those words, but we can start to remind them that we're human.
All right, I have to ask, Will and Grace, who's your favorite character?
Karen.
I think everybody says Karen.
Karen.
We all want to be Karen. Come on.
Wait, all the gay people say their favorite character in Will and Grace is the
Straight lady.
Straight lady.
Well,
straight older lady.
how many straight women have we had
Let it
on
not be
Road to
said
Stonewall?
that the gays don't like our straights.
That's exactly right.
We're straight friendly,
It is so true.
She has the best one-liners, though.
The kiss on the Today Show Plaza in front of Al Roker. Was that a big moment for any of y'all?
I feel like it was. I remember it.
2001, I think it was.
That sounds right.
Was it a big deal?
Yes, it was.
It was?
Yeah.
Especially
Why?
during the time.
You were definitely uber in the closet in 2001, right?
Oh, yes.
So when you watched it, did you think about...
It was kind of stunning to see it mainstream, but also affirming that, wow, we're getting someplace in America where there's a level of comfort in terms of, PDA.
Did it help encourage you at all to finally, accept yourself?
I think when you ask questions like that, like
terrified.
Was that a big deal? And you've asked these questions before. Every little event, every little kiss, every little step is a big thing.
Yeah.
Because every little event that happens in our gay journey brings us that much closer to full acceptance, full respect, and full equality.
And so much of that is about how the U.S. and the people, the broad section of the U.S. become familiar with who a gay person is or is not.
I was in middle school when that happened.
So much of what rural America, because I'm rural America, what you grew up seeing was the pictures of the riot in the pride parades. And so much of life was characterized around what you saw there, and that's not the typical life of a gay person in the United States.
Right.
It's very atypical.
Okay.
It makes us real.
All right. Well, in a couple of moments,
here we go.
The parade is going to begin, and
we have the colors.
we are going to begin to show you some pictures of the National Stonewall Parade coming from Wilton Manors, Florida.
And so it
As
begins.
you can see here
And so it
from our
begins.
pictures, this begins with the American Veterans for Equal Rights Group.
Yes. Look at that great car.
I love that car.
It's kind of giving me flashbacks of Cuba.
I was going to say,
Yes.
it reminds me of being in, we were in Havana
look
last
at
month.
that T-Bird.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to ride. I want to ride. Daddy took the T-Bird away.
And Chris Warner
And
is helping us in terms of the summary of what we're looking at, and he's going to keep track, and Steve is going to help me.
Oh, and who's this?
In terms of keeping track of where we're at.
We have some queens. A queen's waving at us over here. Hey there.
Hey. Oh. Hey, guys.
I went to our night out, as you see here, last night. Todrick Hall performed. Todrick was at the Manor last night. He
My
did a
future
great job.
ex-husband.
Out of Oz is one of my favorite videos ever. Out of Oz. Absolutely awesome.
We loved you last night, Todrick.
Work it out.
Todrick
Work
is
it
one of
out.
the special guests here at the Stonewall National Parade and Stonewall Pride.
But wasn't he just charming? Very sweet and personable.
Yeah. Very sweet.
While we're waiting for our next entry, when Power was talking, I thought for a minute I was confused because Wilton Drive was framed behind him. But as I looked directly at him, I kept thinking, am I in Key West? Because one of those roosters that I've seen so often in Key West, I was like, wait, am I in Key West? And
Is that another cock reference?
He's trying to read, child.
that's a read.
I said trying to read.
Yeah.
That was an Al read.
Wait, did you just say that wasn't a good read? Is that what you were implying?
No, I just said that's your specific.
All right. Here's our
That's your
here's our
style,
mayor,
man. It's your style.
Justin Flippin.
Here, yep.
Wilton Manors mayor.
Here's the mayor of Wilton
Hi,
Manors.
Justin Flippin.
Justin
Hey, Justin.
Flippin. Wilton Manors
Hey, Justin.
is one of the few places in the entire country that has a major metro city mayor. Wilton Manor is the mayor.
We
Hello,
love
Justin.
you. Yes.
And the
Hey!
and you, Justin. And the entire city commission here is gay.
Who's his friend?
Now, for those of you watching in Nebraska or in South Dakota, imagine what this moment would be like to have almost all of your political city representation to be gay.
One day it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. And even if it doesn't, our straight allies are so pro our community, it doesn't make any difference who they are.
Oh, God. Wolf, wolf, and wolf.
And Chris is helping us. Festive Floats
Dog
is
pound.
providing the floats. Steve, you're with me?
There we
it's
go.
Festive
Florida's
Floats,
first
but they are the
LGBT
provider.
Commission. Here's the
This is
commission.
the city of Wilton Manors.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Hi, guys.
Florida's all LGBT city commission.
Yes.
We love
Good
you.
Lord, there's a lot of gay on that float.
Sure is.
A lot of gay on that float. And
Julie.
there's,
Hey,
there's a lot
Julie.
of
We love
gay
you, Julie.
in the city hall. By the way, the city hall and the police department is right across the street from us, where we're broadcasting here on Wilton Drive.
America, take note. You
And
guys can be this fabulous too. Just
And
because you
that's
say
right. And if you haven't
can
seen
do
the,
it.
and if you haven't seen the police car here in Wilton Manors, it's got a big rainbow on it.
Yeah.
And of course, coming up now is the city of Fort Lauderdale. The city of Fort Lauderdale's mayor
Hey,
is
Fort
gay. We shout out to our mayor, Dean Trentellis. He's been on It's Happening Out a number of times. And of course, you saw her opening It's Happening Out's national broadcast, the beloved Debbie Wasserman Schutlz.
Yeah,
and we
Debbie!
love our congressman from the District 23.
She did take her,
Hey, Debbie.
her beads with her, right?
Debbie, let's see if you got that arm for the congressional baseball game.
Yeah.
Hey, Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, my goodness.
Now, this is
This
Gary
is the-
Farmer, and he is running for office for re-election, Broward County.
And, yep, this is a Broward Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the Blue
Hey there.
Party.
Hey!
These are the Democrats.
That's right, the Broward Democratic Party. And I
By the
stand
way,
alone.
America, in case you didn't figure it out, we're coming from
You have your
Broward
log
County,
cabin
Florida.
brothers coming?
Yes. Central Fort Lauderdale has the highest gay density of any place in America. This is the only county in America that is a majority-minority county. The majority of all the residents in Broward County, over 1 million, identify in minority status. Isn't that interesting? I didn't know that until I came down here. And by the way, that's the focus of the joke at It's Happening Out. I'm the only white guy at the panel. Oh, wait.
Really?
I'm not.
Well, I am 7% sub-Saharan African.
Yeah,
so.
okay. All right.
We've
All
heard.
right.
You're right. Okay.
We've heard.
If we have slowdowns in the parade, if we have any weather issues, we have many interesting video packages we're going to show you about our commitment to Stonewall in the 50th anniversary. So I continue to remind production to stay with us.
I know, but the clouds are giving us a brief...
Coming up is Broward County Sheriff Gregory.
Oh, yes.
And we have a very embracing law enforcement community here.
We sure do.
You're going to see we love our Broward County Sheriff's Department.
Hey!
Power is falling off the chair.
That almost went down with you, girl.
We did a segment in law enforcement
Now
here.
you can tell he's played basketball.
Right over here. We did a segment on It's Happening Out when they showed the Pride mobile.
Yes.
The Wilton Manors Police Department has a Pride patrol car, and we got to see it before it was even street worthy. They weren't allowed to drive it on the street, and so we had to interview them in the parking lot right across the street from where we're broadcasting to even be able to see the car. It was quite interesting. This is the city of Oakland Park coming up.
Hey!
And Oakland Park is
Hey,
an
neighbor.
unsung hero of South Florida.
Yes.
Actually, probably many to more gays live in Oakland Park
Yes.
than in Wilton Manors,
Our
Florida.
neighbors.
Yeah,
And
baby.
actually,
Hey, neighbors.
I have to tell you, Al is a resident of Oakland Park, Florida. So I love my brothers and sisters from Oakland
And
Park.
my friend, shout out to Commissioner Jane Boland. Yeah.
We look kind of silly. If you're not seeing the parade pictures simultaneously, we're
Yes.
waving because so many people are waving to us, and we're being polite in waving back.
We're kind of popular here.
Right.
We are coming from Wilton Drive in Wilton Manors, Florida, in it's Fort Lauderdale, Central Broward County. We affectionately, at It's Happening Out, call it the gayest place on planet Earth. You saw our drone opening of Wilton Drive. There's more than 100,000 people watching the Stonewall National Parade and Stonewall Pride right now.
You know, I'm loving seeing the amount of kids out here.
And
We only give 9
I
or
say it
10.
again.
The amount of
9 or
kids
10.
out here with their
We
parents
only
and their
give 9 or
families
10, that's it.
celebrating. It's like any other street
You know,
fair.
it's funny to your point. We noted that when we did the Pride Fort Lauderdale. And by the way, we shout out to all of our friends at Pride Fort Lauderdale, Mike and Sean Palacios, etc. They put on a magnificent Pride on the beach, and they're going to bring in Broward County Pride of Americas the third week in April of 2020. It's going to be an amazing event.
Tim
This
Lonergan
is
is
Tim Lonergan.
Yes.
Oakland Park Fire and Rescue. Lots of
Thank you.
Police,
We love
fire.
our fire and rescue.
Here in Wilton, it was one of the things that surprised me when I came here. In Wilton Manors, policemen, firemen, gay firemen, you know, in most communities in America, perhaps first responders are not necessarily the first embracing of gay.
Yes.
Here in South Florida, many of our first responders are that.
I thought you were going to talk about the village people. You said police officers, gay
Right.
firefighters.
This
There's
is
our-
Michael Karn, Oakland Park Fire and Rescue.
I love our fire folks.
That's our commissioner.
I don't know if y'all know, why is Wilton Manors and Oakland Park and Fort Lauderdale broadly growing so much? Anybody have any guesses as to why it's happening? Why so many people are moving
Because
here?
of those rainbow dollar bills, baby. That's why.
That,
Come on. Those gay,
Well,
those
Fort
gay
Lauderdale's
dollars.
an amazing destination. And as people come here to visit and vacation, they find, wait a minute, there's lots of businesses, there's opportunities for employment. I came down because
Joe,
for the same reason.
Joe gets it right, but let me focus that a little bit finer. They visit here.
Yeah.
The number one cruise port in the entire world is in South Florida. In the entire
Yes.
world. And by the way, the number 2 cruise port in the entire world is here in South Florida. Miami and Fort Lauderdale's cruise
Yes.
port.
Yeah.
Number 1 and number 2. And as a result, gay guys and girls, what do they like to do? They like to
Cruise.
travel and cruise. You beat me to the joke. They come here and
See what you did
visit.
there.
Hey! Woo!
The world's gay community comes to South Florida
hey.
to take a cruise.
I'm just
They
looking-
see all of this and they go, oh my goodness, I want to come back and live.
Yes.
The one driving the truck, I want to see what else he can drive.
I know. I just can't wait for the time
Dirty.
when the fire engines and stuff, they have half-naked firemen on it, right?
Wait, we're making the fire department kind of a sexy kind of thing, Joe. That's only
Hell
going
yeah.
on in
Oh,
your head.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's in
Everybody
your
knows
head.
that.
Wake up, Joe. Wake up.
Hell
Fort
yeah.
Lauderdale Fire and Rescue in partnership here in Wilton Manors.
You know, one of the other things that I think draws people to Fort Lauderdale is the fact that Miami gets a lot of the hype, right? And for so many years, Miami, South Florida, and that's the city that stands out. Well, it's packed down there, okay? So it's a little, I guess you could say, oversaturated. So a lot of folks now are moving up past the Dade County line and moving into Broward because there's a lot of benefits for new businesses. We're close to the beaches. It's like another Miami, except there's so much room and potential for growth here. So, property values are going up. Businesses are coming in. National brands are coming in. Celebrity chefs are coming in.
I would say, if you remember South Beach in the 90s, that's where everybody was. It was the place to be. And I would say probably around the early 2000s was when people started to migrate to Fort Lauderdale, and Fort Lauderdale became the new chic. And now here we are, many years later, almost 2 decades later, and it's just grown.
Power, that's a really interesting observation that I want to explore. You were centric back in the last century.
That was you, Al, wasn't
you were very key to the South Beach National Circuit Party, Ocean Drive in South Beach. The transition move What's it been like for you in terms of seeing what was at South Beach and now what you see here in Fort Lauderdale and Wilton Manors?
Well, a very interesting question, because as far as the club scene goes, I think that the club scene is still in Miami. However, now, as opposed to living and clubbing in the same place, people will club in Miami and come live here.
Yeah.
So there's still been a migration to Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is where you still want to live and play, but like as far as the club scene goes, it's only grown in Miami, but now this is where everybody now resides.
So Power has lots of experience with Ocean Drive and South Beach, and of course it's happening out broadcasting from the Gayest Place on planet Earth. You come down here. Power comes from a very exciting place where he lives, Polk County, Lakeland, Florida, in Central Florida.
I feel like playing a banjo right now.
Right? I'm curious. So with your experience in both of the big communities, where would you, if you were going to live in South Florida again, where would you live?
I would live in Fort Lauderdale.
In Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, I used to live on the beach, been there, done that.
Wait. Justin Flippin, the mayor of Wilton Manors, is on the phone, and he said, tell Power to say Wilton Manors, Florida, in Fort Lauderdale.
I would live in Wilton Manors, Florida, if I can find a place that's cheap enough.
Yeah, all right. This is the Armored Police Battalion for Broward County and Fort Lauderdale. Love the rainbow embracement.
Yes.
Coming up is Project Runway. I don't know if y'all know this, but season 354 is getting ready to launch of Project Runway. Oh, wait. I was talking about RuPaul's Drag Race.
I got to say, though, I love that Jeep.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Fort Lauderdale Police Department. That white Jeep is amazing.
The heavy artillery.
Yes. I want one.
Fun.
Oh, but you all, while you were talking now, you missed the mounted police?
I did not. I was watching them.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We're sitting across, we're here on Wilton Drive in the heart of Broward County. The National Stonewall Parade.
Hey.
Sebastian Gray, winner. Hey there.
Hey, Project Runway.
Hey, what's
up? There.
And congratulations.
By the way, on Project Runway, I just read this in the last couple of days. South Florida has had, by a metropolitan area, has had more contestants on Project Runway than any other community, with the exception of New York, in the entire country. I thought that was interesting.
All right, so Carlos, we're waiting on your turn.
This is AHF, of course, one of the most important gay health organizations in the world. They are centric in our medical needs for HIV, AIDS. They do amazing things in our community.
We have one location right down from my restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, look, Elizabeth Taylor is on the bus.
We
love
you.
AHF.
We thank you, AHF.
AHF is one of the principal sponsors of Stonewall, the National Parade, and Pride. Thank you, AHF.
Dame Elizabeth Taylor.
Here in South Florida, we have Out of the Closet. And Out of the Closet is an organization that provides food and medical services.
They do a great service.
And, a very good service. Thrift stores. They have a number all over Florida, but their predominant locations are here in South Florida, and especially Broward County. Your contributions to Out of the Closet help AHF as its principal beneficiary.
I have to say, I love the flags on these motorcycles coming up here.
This is the Stonewall Knights Motorcycle Club.
And what do we know what they do?
It's a social club.
Okay.
And they embrace motorcycles. This used to be a very popular activity a decade ago. Not so much today. Stonewall Knights are still one of the principals.
You know, my first Pride was in New York City, so when I heard that sound, I thought, oh, the Dykes on bikes.
Yeah.
Close enough, I guess.
That's exactly right. I haven't seen a lesbian group do that in years. Have you?
I don't know.
If you watched the DC Pride Parade,
I know.
I think
has a huge Dykes on Bikes.
Oh, did it?
Oh, God,
okay.
yeah. Every year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they had some in St. Pete.
Sure.
But they're a great community organization, too. They do a lot of giving back.
And in production, if Steve could help us get a message to
This is
Chris.
Miami.
Having trouble.
The
Now, who do we have coming up here?
Look at all the different trans flags.
Veterans Affairs. Miami Veterans Affairs is right before us. We thank you.
Yes, this is representing the Veterans Administration.
Oh, nice.
Thank you to our veterans. We thank you for your service.
Yes.
And your service to the veteran community. We thank you very much.
And isn't that the trans flag?
Yes. I was
You are winners.
I
They've
think
got
it was
the
in
pansexual flag, the bisexual flag, the asexual flag, and the trans flag.
Oh,
I think it was in 2014. My memory, I don't remember exactly. But I went to the Pentagon when they celebrated the first Pride celebration.
Happy
in
Pride, you
Pentagon.
guys!
Thank you. Happy Pride.
Yeah!
We
Thank
love
you
our
for your
veterans.
service.
Woo!
Well, America, it's a little difficult to see. We're on the main stage here on Wilton Drive in the gayest place on planet Earth.
If y'all could only
And
see the
because
eye
of our
candy out here.
proximity, many of the participants are slowing down or stopping and waving to us. So when you see us wave, that's what we're doing, because they're shouting out to us. This is 93.9 from Miami. This is one of the gigantic iHeartRadio, part of the iHeartRadio network. I have to tell you, I listen on my laptop, iHeartRadio.
Yep.
Their Pride Radio is amazing.
Yeah.
And their support of Stonewall and Pride events all
We love you,
over America.
We love you.
That's Magic Mike.
93.9.
You know
Magic
it.
Mike
You
at
know it.
iHeart. He's
Happy
one of the
Pride.
big personalities here
We
in
love
South
you.
Florida.
That's the party float.
Show your moves. Show your moves. Great. Come on.
Little salsa.
Let's
Yeah.
I feel like I'm back in Havana.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
hang on here we go.
I
Man in black.
I just love how music
Man in
just
black.
gets
There we
people
go.
up and going. I
That's
mean,
it. Done.
Yeah.
Music, it always does it.
That's the party bus for sure.
Yes.
Who's this beautiful bearded queen?
Crazy.
Call me, girl.
Turn me on.
That is a wig.
What is this?
And that's
What is this?
I don't know, but I like it.
Is
My-
this
I can see a
What?
sister. I love the Sisters of
What?
Perpetual Indulgence.
no,
Oh, that's
that's
her
not
sister?
him.
Does
Oh,
that-
you're
great.
nice.
She's the new wave evolution
But you're
of bearded
still
queen,
gorgeous.
baby. I
No,
see you, love. I see
Oh,
you.
yeah. There we go.
Oh, from Hair Circus.
Okay.
Bear Circus.
Ah.
Nice.
That child on her knees is going to really be tired when this parade ends.
Oh, she's used to it. You can tell. Oh, am I
look
allowed
at
to
this
say that
one.
with kids around?
This is a good example of the corporate embracement of what's going on.
Okay, we've got the pub. This is the pub.
Here's the
This
pub,
is
Wilton
the pub.
Manors.
Yep. Wilton
One of the-
Drive.
Oh, nice.
One of the big bars here on Wilton Drive.
Yes.
The pub.
Yeah, they do
I
karaoke
have been to
there
so
too.
many of their shows. It's a great place.
This thing
There we
in front
go.
looks like Blanche Devereaux. I'm living.
Yes.
Musical
and
break.
Football is important. The pub is one of the main places if you're a sports enthusiast.
Yeah.
You want to go on Wilton Drive to watch some football. Everything
Boys,
else, but
more
mostly
boys.
football. And the boys.
And of course, the LGBT Softball League. We have one of the largest in the country
Nighthawks.
here
All right.
in South Florida. They have a gigantic tournament Thanksgiving weekend called the Hurricane Classic.
How big of a
Is
tournament
this
was
the
it?
one that you're on? Is this the something?
I was on a team and then broke my arm and I couldn't do it, so I can't go back until
when
the
he
fall.
was dancing, remember? Yeah.
I think you've
Remember
been
that?
This is
banned.
the
Was that
South
time?
Florida Pride Band, the marching band and wind ensemble.
Nice.
And behind the parade, I have to give a gigantic shout out to somebody connected with It's Happening Out. David Hopkins
Oh, hey,
is
David.
coming up with the
Yes.
Lambda Men's Brotherhood.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Lambda is one of the most amazing service gay service organizations in South Florida. They put on the Leather Mask Ball. They have participated in It's Happening Out's pool parties. And the Leather Mask Ball is one of the best events held Thanksgiving weekend in South Florida. Yes. If you are a leather fan, you must come to South Florida Thanksgiving weekend for the Leather Mask Ball.
I love it all.
Lambda Men's Brotherhood.
And the puppies
Got our
are.
puppies.
When are we
I
going to have
love
a
it all.
puppy race?
The bears,
We
the
need a
pups,
puppy
the
race.
kitty cats. Bring it.
I have just recently flown Spirit Airlines for the first time.
You what?
I just recently flew Spirit Airlines for the first time. It's one of the airlines that has really supported our national HRC.
Yeah, I have
Let's wave to everybody at Spirit.
I'm going to be nice today, but I have a bone to pick with Spirit. So
There we go.
Exactly.
Keep that spirit alive.
Spirit is a national sponsor of the Human Rights Campaign and Pride events all over America. And look at the fantastic response of Spirit Airlines employees. Major
You guys
base,
are cool.
Yeah, major base here in South Florida. And wait, I think I've been out with about 6 or 7 of these flight attendants.
That's not surprising.
I flew with you to Vegas. I think I flew with you to Vegas.
There we go. Oh, and here's Amazon.
Yep.
Glamazon.
Amazon.
We love you, Glamazon.
Yes.
On Wednesday, we're going to talk about this, and if we have time to get to it, we're going to talk about all of the big business embracement of the Pride movement and Stonewall. It has been, over the last 5 years, it's been amazing. Did everybody see the Google Doodle? We talked about it Wednesday.
Yeah.
Amazing. And the number of brands, American and international brands, that are embracing gay culture and gay rights and gay rainbows, and Stonewall is really quite incredible.
And trans too. I got my trans Converse on right now.
Can you spin one off?
I know. I don't know if we have a shoe cam, but after the next video package.
We don't have a shoe cam. No.
Well, you know, it's also smart for businesses to jump on board because our community represents a lot of affluent leaders in society, and we have money to spend. So if you become allies with us, we'll spend that money.
Those rainbow dollar bills, baby.
You know, we're going to report on this on Wednesday. The new report is out. Gay spending in the United States for the first time ever in 2019 will cross $1 trillion.
There you go.
Good. This is Pride US.
Ultimate Software. It's a software company representing Pride.
There you go, man.
Oh, there we go.
You IT folks, get down to
I
boogie.
love the balloons.
We love
I
our
love the
software
gentleman
boys.
in red holding the green balloon.
Software boys.
Woo!
There we go. Dance with somebody, boys.
Yeah. Sexy techies.
And coming up, a little known fact. I believe it's in Weston. If you call support services for your credit card, American Express, everybody thinks you're calling New York or New Jersey. You're not. You're calling South Florida. And of course, that's why American Express is so prominently in the National Stonewall Parade and Pride, because of the number of employees at the center here for American Express.
Nice. Thank you, American Express. I love this balloon.
Yeah.
The fingerprint.
Look at
with
the
all the pride
celebrate
colors.
diversity.
It's
That's
really
nice.
cool.
I love the
Hey, that's my
thumbprint.
sister and my brother-in-law out there. Hey, guys.
Hey, would y'all do me a favor and come and get Josie and take her with you?
Thank you, American Express.
Welcome, America, to the National Stonewall Parade and Pride, coming live on Wilton Drive in Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We're broadcasting it. It's happening out, the official television broadcast of the Stonewall Pride. 350,000 around America and the world watching as we do this.
You know, whatever it is that you're into, whatever attracts you, whatever race, gender, sexuality, tall, short, anything in between, it is out here. The eye candy is outrageous.
I know, right? It's a wide spectrum today. That's what I love about Pride.
Yep.
Last night we got a little taste. We were at Drink here on the Drive, one of the premier spots, right?
Nice.
And for those viewers out there, that's where we got our fans, okay? But we just got a little taste of what was to come today.
We shout out Office Depot because Office Depot provided our shirts for production for Stonewall Pride. We thank Office Depot for everything that they do in supporting our community. Office Depot and Office Max. And guys, y'all are very purple.
Yeah,
very
very purple today. Woo!
I was the statewide sponsor one year of this organization that I believe a lot of.
It's Equality Florida.
Equality Florida. Nadine Smith is one of the gay icons, certainly of Florida and of the nation. And we shout out Equality Florida for everything they do to support their efforts of equality in the state of Florida. They're an amazing example of what we can politically do.
I love this lady in red bangles.
The
You're
countdown
gorgeous.
to Halloween has begun. One of the largest Halloween events in America is held at the Pride Center. And if you're in Nebraska or you're in South Dakota, you have no concept of what you're getting ready to see. The Pride Center is on 13 acres right in the heart of Wilton Manors. It does all kinds of services. Roger Boo leads this organization.
Pride Center.
Robert Boo, sorry.
25
Roger Roa directs the Halloween party.
Hey, Roger.
It's an amazing
25
event.
years proud.
And the Pride Center provides all kinds of valuable services. There's Robert right there.
Yeah,
Robert
there we
has
go.
been a host at It's
Love
Happening
you.
Out. And we salute the Pride Center for the amazing work that they do in our community.
25 years proud.
And here comes David Hopkins. Hey, David.
Here comes the Grand Hotel, our partner in Fort Lauderdale, Wilton Manors. They're about 8 minutes away. They host our show every Wednesday night and our pool parties on Sunday. And they're hosting PornCon Labor Day weekend and other
You heard
events
that?
through the year.
Shout out to the Grand.
Did you hear it?
PornCon.
All y'all porn fans.
Yep,
Hands.
And we
exactly.
know, honey. We know there's a lot of porn
it's Labor
fans
Day.
out there, okay?
Forever Young coming up. The medical services
There
at
we go.
Forever Young. I think Joe is going to be using your services very soon.
Yes.
Joe Brookman, Forever Young.
The anti-aging.
And here, oh yeah, dermal fillers, Joe.
What's that?
Dermal fillers.
What's that?
Anti-aging solution.
Why is it smoking?
You're the only one I know that needs it.
I, America, am not the oldest man on this
So
panel.
why is it smoking?
Really?
I'm not. I'm not.
I don't know. That's what I heard.
And we're coming up to the Florida Panthers.
There we go.
The Florida
Yes.
Panthers.
Hey!
The Florida Panthers hockey team, ice hockey, hosted a Pride Night that was absolutely incredible. I'm a member of the South Florida Gay Men's Chorus. They did the national anthem at Pride Night. Thank
Make that
you
slap shot.
for everything you do.
And coming up is SunServe.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
SunServe is right here.
Who does
on
great,
Road Drive.
great work for our community.
Yep.
Wow. And Miss Tiffany Arias.
That's
Hey,
Tiffany
girl.
Ariana.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Tiffany is one of the most famous
One.
drag queens in South
Can you
Florida.
make it
She
here?
is beautiful.
And look how beautiful she is.
I'm fanboying right now, big time.
Former Miss Florida, living icon, Miss Tiffany Arias. I love you.
Love you.
That's my sister.
I just got a little starstruck.
And she also works at Sunsurf doing great work.
Next up
along with, what's her name, Misty Eyes, right?
Misty Eyes, yeah. We shout out Misty Eyes, amazing. She was great
Yellow
on
Cab
our show.
coming up here.
Yellow Cab.
And if you're anywhere around the drive, you need a yellow cab.
Yeah,
Close.
that's right. You do.
We appreciate
needed that
you, Yellow
last
Cab.
night. What time did you come in?
I don't remember. I don't even know how I got home.
I heard. Fortunately, wait, Steve Smith in production, our director, same thing. Same thing.
All I can say
I'm just
is
lucky
I
I'm
was
here right now.
thankful for Yellow Cab last night,
right.
standing outside Ramrod.
The
About
great
I see
thing-
production side-eyeing you, Josie. Something must have went down.
Imperial Sun Empire of all Florida here.
Oh, there we go. There's
And
a
it's
whole
the
bunch
Royal
of
Court.
queens.
The great thing about Wilton Drive, I have to say, is it's very safe because
Yeah.
you can do all kinds of dining, shopping, bars, and you can walk to everything.
And almost never see a straight person.
The city
Shopping
has an-
right here is
right,
Nordstrom's.
Right.
Nordstrom's is
right.
here in the parade
Yeah.
today.
Nordstrom's here, and the city participates in a drive program where you can cab or Uber.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Uber.
We
in
love
one
you,
of the
Nordstrom's.
directions.
I'm
The
a
Bears
regular,
of
baby.
South Florida.
I'm a regular.
And Citrix,
Oh, there we
the
go.
software program, coming up. Now, I do not know why, but this is going to come as a shock to you. Most people think I identify in the gay community as a bear.
As a what?
Am I a bear?
No. I don't know. Are you?
I
No,
don't
bears are
know.
cute.
I just think
Oh, did you? She said bears are cute.
all you got to do is look at
This
the float.
is the Bears of South Florida.
Yeah,
Look at
baby!
all these handsome men here. Say hello to America.
They're so cute. I love my bear community. Love them. I mean, especially as a chef, because bears love to
Oh,
eat.
look at the bear at the back of the float. That's going to create lots of sound on your.
Okay.
I think I saw a few bare bottoms up there, too. Oh, no, they're mostly clothed.
And now Citrix. Citrix is with us.
Citrix
Hi,
software.
Citrix.
They have a giant center up on Cypress Creek, just about 5 minutes from here. And we love our supporters from
Major
Citrix.
enterprise software vendors.
Just so you
Citrix
know,
support.
those little beach balls you see floating around, those are from Bubbles and Pearls.
Right
Is that our
on.
foreshadowing?
If you're an enterprise vendor and you need some software inside your data center, you want to look for Citrix.
Isn't this fun to be able to do this?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Yes.
June in South Florida, and the weather is fantastic. Now coming up is a church that I have been to many times, the Sunshine Cathedral. And the Sunshine Cathedral, again, for people around the country, if you haven't seen a big mega church, it's the Sunshine Cathedral for the gay community. A very large campus, multiple sanctuaries. They do great things in the community. I just saw, you remember who we had on our show? Drag queen just recently?
Yep.
Sorry.
The drag queen we just had on the show?
Daisy Dead
Yeah.
Petals?
No, after Daisy. Never mind.
Fill us in.
All right.
I don't know.
Varla Jean Merman.
Oh, yeah.
Varla Jean just did her
Well,
show.
girl, she
at
was so
Sunshine.
butch, I forgot she was a drag queen.
Yeah, right. This is Broward
I was in
Health.
here.
Right, you were in Bali.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Bali? Oh, wait.
Uh-huh.
Broward Health.
Florida Blue.
Yep.
This next is Florida Blue, the man van.
I know. What is that?
Healthcare, HIV,
The man.
testing.
I was going to say the man fan. I don't know what it is, but sign me up.
BrowardHealth.org.
I'm going to have to, after this broadcast, I'm going to have to find out what Broward Health and Florida Blue is doing What is the man van? I got to explore that because
I don't know, but is the silver daddy in the picture inside?
How is this the first time we're hearing about the man van?
You would have all the inside tea on the man van, Josie.
America, this will be Josie's official farewell broadcast that is happening out.
Josie's the lesbian and the only daddy at the table.
And then we'll be starting a spin-off called...
Exactly.
Called the Lesbian Sagas. Right.
Continues,
Right.
The L word, right?
The
Is that what
L
it's called?
word, yeah.
But isn't the weather, isn't it wonderful that we've got a little cloudy skies and a little breeze to give us a little reprieve from all the heat while everybody's marching
Perhaps
to the
Darren,
parade?
used to pride
Darren
being
Lowley,
like
our
this. Usually
executive
they're hot.
producer, can show a picture of the gables across the street. All of the guys up on that balcony there wave at the balcony.
Guys.
Hey guys upstairs
Yeah.
on the balcony. Hey there.
And here we have. And what do we have here?
BC. There we go. Love you. Broward County Pride. We love you folks.
Nope.
Thank you, Broward County Pride. Thank you for coming out today to represent.
Woo! I just love it how during Pride these fans come out in full effect.
Yeah. Oh, I love them too.
I know.
No. Especially not with our microphones.
Yeah.
An important part of our discussion over the last has been about
You
one
know,
kill a day.
It's very
and
funny to
Truvada.
me to do an event like this. I was sitting here thinking about how much money to do a celebration like this, the security and the fencing and the permitting. This is a state road we're on. This is not run by the county or the city. This is a state road. So the permitting is really quite significant. It's
Yeah.
amazing to me the fortitude to put on a celebration like this parade at Stonewall
Yeah.
and Pride.
You got to support your local gay organizations. They're the ones who volunteer. They're the ones who fund this kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And it takes a lot of volunteers and a lot of coordination to pull something like
Yes,
this
it
off.
does.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and they start like really, really early in the morning, like 3 a.m., in order to get all the barricades out and people at the right places.
I mean, it is so exciting to watch the turnout. You know, there aren't just a couple people here, guys. There's thousands of people on the drive.
100,000.
100,000 people right here on Wilton Drive.
And one of
Gays love a parade.
One of our biggest topics that we've talked about in the past few months is about PrEP. And this next one is all about PrEP and protection.
We, on It's Happening Out, had quite an interesting conversation about PrEP and some of the issues that are surrounding the discussion of PrEP and the embracement of PrEP in the gay community. It has certainly revolutionized our response to HIV.
Absolutely. But it doesn't mean you still don't need protection.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It does not prevent all STIs, folks.
You know, as I'm watching this parade here from South Florida, the National Stonewall Parade and Stonewall Pride, I just can't imagine what the next 2 weeks are going to be. There's Pride events, literally thousands and thousands of Stonewall celebration events. My Facebook feed is full of events all over America. New York City in 2 weeks, it's going to be the biggest gay gathering in the history of the world.
I've never been more homesick.
I just can't even
can't wait.
imagine.
And the amount of security there's going to be in and around New York City over the next few weeks is going to be very, very large.
Oh, I love this sign.
Here we go. Mayor Pete.
Spray painted Mayor Pete for president.
Yeah,
and
Mayor
nobody
Pete.
embraces that more than Joe Brookman. Mayor Pete for president.
Woo!
I just got my new bright pink Trump 2020 hat. There we
Wait,
go.
Joe's car's right around the corner. It's right behind the stage.
There we go.
That's pretty funny, huh? They're like, write our number down.
Are y'all watching the people parading by us? I mean,
Yeah.
just walking by is amazing.
Mostly, yes.
Okay, Willie.
I'm slightly
Willie Jones
overstimulated.
is
Why do you
running
think I have
for
my car?
sheriff. And
Oh, wow.
did
Sweet
anybody
Willie.
know that South Florida has a lot of Spanish-speaking people? Did y'all know that? Well, we have a television network here that's owned by NBC,
Okay.
and it's called
Univision.
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 You practiced that all morning, didn't
And-
you? I'm so proud.
And the white guys go, it's Univision.
Right.
Hey,
Univision
what's up?
coming up.
Wow, my peoples, how you doing? More lesbians now, more
Oh,
lesbians,
wait.
okay?
Lesbians.
My homies
There we go.
right there.
We love our lesbians.
Is that
There we
AOC?
go.
I don't have my glasses
She
on.
got that telenovela voice, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Univision.
Could you translate what's being said?
Well, let me listen. She's speaking in English, Al.
I might get it if she spoke a little slower.
These are one of the famous open-top double-deckers that
We
do
love you,
sightseeing here in
Univision.
South Florida. This is 107.5, another
there we
big
go.
radio station supporting the gay
Hey,
community.
baby.
We have a very big
Univision in the
Latino
house.
pride here in South
¿Cómo
Florida.
está?
It was just last month.
Bella.
Yes.
Caribbean Pride.
Oh, there we go.
The big bus.
That's the big bus.
You got the big bus and the man van.
Nice.
The whole fleet.
And I love Target.
Target, you mean?
Hey.
Target.
Target is at the
Target.
corner of Dixie and Oakland Park. And literally, it was breathtaking to me to go into Target. When I first came down here, there were 100 people in the store, and 87 of them were gay.
Nice.
And they have enjoyed a lot of backlash
That's right.
for their support.
Star Wars cosplayers. Napoleon
Oh my
Plays
God.
is watching right now in Orlando, and he is just literally geeking out.
I thought you were
Oh,
going to say
yes.
he was one of the ones in the costumes.
I know. I was like,
Well,
oh, that's
And
very
here's
good
my
today.
friends from the Gay Men's
Hey,
Chorus
guys!
of South Florida. They're one of the best choruses in America, and just shortly, in the next 10 days, they're going to do a tribute concert to Stonewall. And you want to make sure you get your tickets here in Fort Lauderdale or in Miami. And they're combining with all three South Florida choruses, Miami Gay Men's, Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's, and the gigantic South Florida Gay Men's
Woo!
Chorus.
Yeah.
Make sure you come to the Stonewall concert.
Who do we have over here?
It's Joe Kimmock.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Nice.
I see that. And Catch
Is
Bail.
anyone-
I like it. We've got
Yeah.
a representative running on some
I'm
real serious
curious.
issues.
Yeah.
I love it.
Do
And
any of
mass
you,
incarceration.
when you went to Prides 5 years ago or 10 years ago, many of our Prides were very dominated by super skimpy, Speedo-only guys dancing on floats. We haven't seen a lot of that today.
No.
Is that a reflection of change in our community, or what is that a reflection of?
Oh, it's a reflection of a lot of different kinds of change in our community.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know about, I don't know about this particular community. I know in different cities, you still have that.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe every local community
It's a little different.
might reflect a little bit of different,
Coming up is Latinos Salud. This is another terrific HIV and medical program here in South Florida. They have their main center here on the famous Wilton
Look at the
Drive.
unicorn.
And they do all kinds of services for the gay community, and especially the
Now that
Latino
sure does look like
community.
fun for the pool.
Oh, yeah. And especially those late night hot dogs out in front of Latino Salute.
Oh, yeah. In front of the Johnsons, right?
Quite a
There we
contingent
go.
from Latino Salute. I don't know if Darren Lowley, our executive producer, can hear us and he can get a shot, but across the way from us at Gables, Wilton Park, there is a party on the 4th floor going on, and when this ends, I want to go right there because they look like they're having so much fun.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
I love a drum line.
We got the drums.
Dale, dale,
There we
dale.
go.
All right, all right.
Here we go.
Woo!
Yeah. There we go. Lots of hot dancing.
Well, this is
All
an
right.
example of the diversity in this community. In most cities, you have one gay chorus. In South Florida, you have 3, and representing is the Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus.
Hey!
As I just told you, combined with the South Florida Gay Men's Chorus and the Miami Gay Chorus, they are getting ready to do a groundbreaking concert in Fort Lauderdale and in Miami as a salute to Stonewall. They have created an opus concert like West Side Story about Stonewall Pride. And we cannot wait to see your performance for Stonewall. 3 choruses in our community.
Pro Solar.
Now, Joe, you're going to love this next entry. Pro
Yes.
Solar. I know how concerned all the Republicans are about climate change, and
we
and your
readily
people
embrace solar systems.
Yeah, your people totally embrace solar energy as a way to solve climate issues because you totally.
I embrace solar. I'm not sure as a climate issue thing because I'm not sure about that. That it's just not a natural part of the world's evolution. But I do embrace solar. Looking at solar for my homes.
Does anyone have an Excedrin?
Now, right? What gay
I love my Joe.
what
Let me
gay
tell you
man
guys.
on planet Earth can possibly live without their daily Starbucks cup of coffee? And I'm telling you, America, on Wilton Drive, there's a Starbucks that you can't spill your coffee
More
without it
lesbians
spilling.
now, more lesbians, okay?
Who's your favorite barista?
Hey.
There we
How
go.
are you?
I love you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Arts United here
We
is
got
a
some leather coming
fantastic
up.
program here in South Florida. South Florida has actually a very rich arts community. It kind of gets a
love that.
knock for
It
its
goes
live
hand in hand with
performance.
gay, you know.
Yeah,
Really
it does. But there is a tremendous embracement of live entertainment.
Oh yeah.
Cultural
And
entertainment
there's
here.
so many more theaters and
Now,
art locations around this area that it's actually amazing. If I came here, but I did not know how many like small theater companies and the like, as well as art installations that there are. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I can't wait to the end of this Stonewall Parade to meet these guys, Boys with Boats.
Hey,
Oh yes. Boys with Boats. We love it.
Hey,
Yes.
here's
Yeah.
a chef. I'll cook everything we catch.
And she means anything.
You can
Yeah.
you can drop by my house on your way around.
All right, now again, I constantly make the joke. If you're in Nebraska right now and you're gay, how can
All
you
right.
possibly respond to a bunch of gay guys that gather just because they got boats?
Yeah.
And they have
Right.
fun in the social setting with their boats. That's great. Coming up.
And I do love that boat. Oh my God, that's.
I love boating. I've
That-
rented
Me
a
too.
boat a number of times.
Okay,
I
so
love it.
really important is you've got those 2 seats in the back, and then you've got the ledge on the back. If you're a skier or surfer or whatever, that's essential.
Is it?
And it's fun. It's fun as
America,
anything.
one of the other interesting things here in South Florida is our gay sports leagues. We have something like 50 leagues.
Yeah.
You name the sport. World class, going to the gay games in swimming, basketball, tennis, flag football, softball, you name it. And it's all coordinated through the Rainbow Sports League right here, and everything to do with sports and gay. We had a segment on It's Happening Out about true love found through one of the sports league teams, and David Ardelan, the owner of Drink. It was a great segment in terms
And
of
shout
why
out to the
gay
one
sports.
queen color guard over there
Yes.
too, by the way.
Yes.
I live.
You're
Now,
looking
I'm
beautiful.
living for this
Beautiful.
queen here,
That's-
honey.
that
That is
is
everything.
amazing.
Fierce.
Wow.
Now she knows she could hardly move.
Yeah.
She could barely turn her head.
She's stuck
going,
in that position, but
"Please."
she's holding it.
She just said, "You come and look at me."
Right.
She's gonna need an
Wait, are
accessory
you
too
Power
at the end of this.
Infiniti?
I don't know, that headdress. Power, I think you need one of those.
So many cute boys and girls off the street
Oh,
today.
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And everything in between too.
Yeah, and everything in between.
Oh. Aaron just called you out.
No.
Did you?
That was
Aaron was
banter.
adding
Just
to the
banter.
conversation.
I
Listen,
see.
Josie gets it. Just because you don't doesn't mean, you know.
I think she's been out for a while.
But I'm proud of you. You did catch it.
Wait,
so.
we have a little lull here for a moment. Let's do a shout out to our 2 missing compadres. Napoleon Plays, host of It's Happening Out. He's at a big leather event in Orlando.
Yeah.
And our friend Carlos Marrero.
Carlos.
Marrero.
Marrero.
I know, I'm playing. He's in Chicago celebrating Father's Day with his
His family.
parents. That's
Yeah.
really nice. Yeah.
Miss you, Carlos, desperately. You have no idea.
This is Obi's
Hopefully
Place.
we're holding this down.
And I point out, I love this. At the end, look at the blue and white stripe, red diamond and white star. I shout and point them out. I hope Darren can catch it. That's the Cuban flag. I have a place in my heart for Cuba.
But look
We're
at that
really
headdress.
sorry about what's happening right now for Cuba, and we hope for better days for everybody in Cuba. The rainbow flag and the national flag of Cuba and other countries around the Caribbean and Latin America. To all of my friends in Cuba,
Hi.
we're thinking about you right now. If memory serves me right, that's the Panamanian flag here on the truck. Actually, it's kind of a funny joke. It's in the U-Haul truck.
Of course.
Now,
I'm going to let that slide, Al.
How do you pronounce
He tried.
this?
He tried.
How do you pronounce this? This place? There we go.
As I told you, there is a great Pride Festival here in South Florida that you should come to in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, called Caribbean Fest. And Caribbean Fest, Caribbean Pride, celebrates Central America, Latin America,
Obi's Place,
and the Caribbean islands.
Where do I get
Obi's
that
Place.
headdress?
I'm celebrating right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't quite
Oh, yeah.
understand why. You're celebrating too.
Yeah.
You're celebrating for a completely different reason than I'm celebrating.
Hey.
You look awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I need one in every color.
I know. I'm like, work it, guys.
Woo!
Girls.
Oh my God.
Yep. Yeah, and it keeps getting more awesome.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh my.
I'll see you later. Call
Yes.
me.
And coming up, we have T-Mobile.
Oh yes. T-Mobile is
I
a
love
major
the
Pride supporter,
embracement
and they've done some amazing things for our veterans in healthcare.
Oh, have
in
they?
terms of mobile access for our veterans in the United States. Yes. So earlier we saw the Veterans Administration. And
We love the
T-Mobile.
pink of T-Mobile and their pink flags.
We love you, T-Mobile. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for support.
And Metro, too, for us low-budget queens. You
Now,
know?
I have to tell you something interesting about what's coming up next. PNC Bank is coming up. One of their major representatives of this bank nationally, I'm only going to use her first name, is in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And her name is Ashley, and she's trans. And PNC Bank has incorporated Ashley as one of the equality warriors of America in representing the bank.
Oh, nice.
And they did this years ago, before it became a bit more fashionable in embracement, because banks can be a bit more conservative than other kinds of brands. I mean, let's face it, PNC Bank or a bank is not like Starbucks or other kinds of more, you know.
And they're headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina as well.
Charlotte. Oh, I
yes,
didn't know that.
they're headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina. So
My
that's
birthplace.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So it is
I used to live
a
there.
major step, especially
Hey.
coming from a very conservative location. So,
Yes.
I'm
they shine bright.
I'm members.
Yes.
I'm a member of the crew of Cavaliers in Tampa Bay, which is how I met Ashley. And she has run the Gay Chamber in Tampa Bay. But most important of all, she has represented PNC nationally to bring trans issues to the bank and employees, to embrace diversity in the corporate structure of a major national bank brand. And
were those transgender superheroes that just walked by? Did anybody else catch that? Did anybody else catch that? I'm
so
just
we
saying.
were just
yes,
talking
I saw
about
you, Boo. I saw
PNC
you.
Bank, and
Yes.
what an amazing situation PNC is with Ashley in Tampa. We love
And you.
PNC. And you.
Oh, yes. I think I see some male superheroes in purple sequins.
Hey, baby. How are you? Happy Pride. Philip.
Again, America,
You
it's
just hate
kind
that
of difficult to
attention, don't
tell,
you?
but we're
You
waving
just
to
hate the
lots of
attention.
people because
I know.
literally thousands of people
yeah.
are
What can I
passing
do?
in front of us and stopping us and waving or talking to us.
PNC. Gotta
Oh
love
my
that
God. What is that? I love it.
This is the plant guy.
The plant.
Yes, he has
have you,
this
have
new
you never
exhibit.
seen that on 26?
Yeah.
I do
on
know-
sorry, Oakland Park
on
Drive.
Oakland
is
Park.
awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's on Oakland
He's-
They
Park.
own-
He's actually such a nice guy.
I
This
love
is a
it.
plant specialty company.
Oh my God, this is so
If
fabulous.
you have
And
any
you,
questions
you can
whatsoever,
landscape.
Yes.
And if you've ever wanted to have landscaping with a
Oh.
great gay eye, it's the plant guy.
yeah,
Here in
baby,
South Florida.
yeah.
They
That's what
helped.
we want to ride
The
on.
plant
Ride
guy
it,
has
baby.
helped.
Ride that
It's happening
rhino.
out
Like
a
that.
number of
Ride
times
that
in
rhino.
terms
Awesome.
of decorating.
There we go.
And we love the green rhinoceros that you're wearing.
there we go.
And riding.
Ride it, baby.
And he has bubbles coming out of his
Yeah.
butt.
Yeah, girl.
That's a whole new definition of tree hugger.
Now that is very gay. When you shit bubbles,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's gay.
And we're with Clover now. Clover guys
Hey.
and girls. I love all the walking units in the parade.
We love you. Happy Pride.
So when you want to put something in a parade, what's the easiest way to do it? Get a big yellow school bus.
Yeah.
And then you instantly create, in support from Broward County Schools, EDU Pride, educational support of the LGBT community in the public school system of
Nice.
Broward County.
Really nice.
Yeah.
It is pre-organized of principals teachers, and students supporting LGBT issues and understanding in all of Broward County's public schools.
That's a big deal here in the state of Florida with the history
But
of
they
the
got-
oppression of teachers who were gay.
Yeah.
Big deal.
They got the windows all tinted up, honey. Like if it's a,
I'm sorry.
I said they have the windows all tinted up on this bus. You can't really see any of the children.
My biggest
like a
memory
prison bus.
of a big yellow bus is on the ridge behind Granddaddy's where we had the still. So my memory of the big yellow
when
bus
you
is a little different.
you start diversity and equality education in the 5th and 6th grade, you're going to end up in the right place.
Yes.
Okay, I have to confess that I completely read this wrong when I was reading this next one. I thought it was air around the cock. And I was like, okay, never heard of that before. Somebody's blowing somebody around the clock.
Air
around the clock.
I love the bubbles.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cute.
Yeah, you know how I love bubbles.
Now, one of the best
Bubbles and
bars in
pearls.
South Florida is our cowboy Western bar, Scandals.
Oh, yes. There we go, Scandals.
I go to Scandals and play poker.
Come on, boys.
Yeah, me
And it's
too.
great fun.
Come on, boys, give us some
My
two-step
Uber
out
driver
there.
here recommended
It looks like a Western bar. And one of the great things at Scandals, Thanksgiving weekend, they give back to charity all the time. But they host the Leather Mass Ball at Scandals, and it's a great event. If you're in South Florida and you want to get off Wilton Drive a few blocks, you go to Scandals.
And was
It's
that a
lot of
Reba
fun.
impersonator or just
And how
coincidence?
funny, sorry?
Was that a Reba McEntire impersonator or just coincidence?
I think it's funny that they think that they're pedaling and propelling the vehicle while
Here
they
we go,
drink.
here we go.
Oh, all right.
There we go.
Hey.
We got them dancing.
All right, boys.
All
That's
right.
it, boys. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the
A
girls
little
out there,
Texas
too.
two-step
Hey,
twirl.
hey, hey. Woo!
I swear, in South Florida, Wilton Manors,
line
there
dancing,
is
we love
everything for the gay community.
I know, I love this.
Yes.
And if you like the two-step, not only there, but at Hunter's every Thursday night.
Oh.
They do country line
And
dancing.
right next to Scandals, hilarious, is the sobriety organization in Broward County.
Hey,
And then Big Brothers and Sisters of Broward County. And then we love our Big Brothers and Sisters. They totally embrace the gay community and support. And then right behind them is Joe Brookman's arch nemesis, the Libertarian Party of Florida, Broward County. No,
I
I'm
don't
only
know.
kidding.
I'm kind of a libertarian.
Are you? So kind of me
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
No, it's Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
And that's Whole
Yeah.
Foods?
And
Yeah.
You gotta love
I
all these
love Whole
balloons.
Foods.
There we go. Balloons.
Now,
Balloons.
When you need your
what you're
jalapenos.
seeing here is a festival here in South Florida. It is lots of fun. These
love the
are
guys.
gayed out, rainbowed, balloon pink versions of flamingos.
Yeah.
And they're called Flock Fest.
They're called what?
Flock Fest.
Oh, Flock Fest.
Get the
All
play
right.
on words. Flock
yes.
Fest.
Yes.
All right. Let's. Oh my
And the
God.
boys
yes.
and girls
That
of
one we're gonna
Flock
flop.
Fest basically have a festival to embrace lots of fun here in the
Okay.
lifestyle of gay South Florida.
You got to be
And I
real
think-
careful
All right.
when you enunciate.
So we
that.
have lots
You
of
go-
pop men flocking.
When you're on national television, you say it very carefully. Flock
flocking.
Fest. Exactly.
No, they're
All
not
right.
flocking around.
We're not
Flocking
flocking around. Wait, America. Here's the advantage of being on all of the social media channels. I'm getting ready to use the F word.
Uh-oh.
Here it comes. Flock. Yes.
Or flock you.
Flock you.
There's a row of mothers over here that all
my
just cringe.
goodness, look at this.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Next level.
It is so much fun.
Oh God, I love the pink flamingo.
Look at all these flamingos.
I need to put one outside my
And I
house.
tell you, America, if you're in London, don't you want to come to South Florida
Oh yeah.
and experience this?
Absolutely.
This is South Florida. right in front of us.
There we go. I want to flock. Yes, I want to flock.
Yes.
Wait, we need one of y'all to come up here and flock us.
Come on, yeah.
Hey!
Come and flock with us. Oh my! Have you ever seen so many pink balloons?
Is that a koozie?
Huh?
Is that a koozie?
I don't know what it
And
is.
out of shot power goes.
That's amazing. The only problem is I get this urge to take out a pin and just run through the crowd.
I am telling you.
Interesting fact, there's actually more fake pink flamingos or more pink flamingo statues than actual pink flamingos in the world.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
And this is why.
And
Yeah.
this is why. I'm just telling you, in America, whether you're watching this live or you watch it in delay, who wouldn't be wanting to stand right in the middle of Blockfest? Who wouldn't want to stand right in the middle of that?
I would.
I love those.
I love the diversity
Hello,
of this
Block
parade.
Boys.
I love those hats too.
Y'all are cute as all get out. I'm just telling you.
And this is
awesome.
one large contingency because you guys aren't seeing what we're seeing, but if
Yes,
you actually
please.
see
Oh
the
my
flock section is like a mile long. Like,
Yeah.
look at all
I
that.
know.
Look at where they
this
are.
Amazing.
picture.
I didn't even realize that.
Steve,
The hot pink parade.
we should get that picture.
That's
Of the
a hot
flock.
pink
Look how
parade.
long they are.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
literally like half a mile.
That's a lot.
That's pretty cool.
Is everybody having fun here at the National
yes.
Stonewall Parade and
Oh,
Pride? You want
Pride
some
is
water?
always
Sure.
fun.
Yeah, it's
Pride is always
awesome.
fun.
Wait, are you
Yes.
giving me your warm backwash water?
Yeah, I got the cold one. Oh, wait. Hand me a water.
There we go.
I was
Thank
bamboozled,
you.
girl, to use
Yeah.
a power word.
Living for the
Oh, no,
hair
we have
girl.
it. Thank you, Boo. We have our friends out there trying to give us water. You see, they heard your
Thank you.
request.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Happy Pride.
You
Oh,
can't.
thank you.
You can't talk about. You can't talk about support in America.
Ramrod, yeah.
You can't talk about support in America without saying Bank of America. Bank of
We love
America
you,
is
Bank
one
of
of the
America.
biggest supporters
I
from
bank there.
corporate America that we have in the gay community.
Bank America
Bank of
is also a
America
big
is the
business
big pyramid in what city? Gay central city of the world, San Francisco. Bank
Yeah.
of America.
Where are my boys?
Now, Napoleon Place is getting ready to have an amazing geek out experience because
Yes.
Napoleon is watching us live in Orlando right now, and his
love my
favorite
boy.
place is coming into view right now, and that's the leather community of Ramrod.
Yes.
Everybody knows
Ow!
Ramrod.
Ramrod.
Everybody knows Ramrod.
Ramrod has one of the big supporters. Ramrod is one of the big supporters of IML in Chicago, and every year sends a big contingent from South Florida to IML and has a contestant.
And to MAL in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And when you're here in town, if you're so lucky, they have a party once a month. It's called the Pig Dance, and you gotta go. If you're not going to the Pig Dance when you're here, you're missing not only great music, but the hottest men on the drive I've seen.
Like I said, the daddy on our cast.
Oh!
Every time I come to Ramrod, all of the guys go, "Ow, you're in the wrong place," and I'm going to embrace and get deeper and deeper and deeper into Ramrod. I'm going to
Really? Deeper?
yeah.
To your children present.
Al's going to get deeper, guys. Get ready.
Josie's the one that always takes me to Ramrod. She
I
goes,
know.
"Where are we going to go? Let's go to Ramrod."
Great place.
Yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Because I love Ramrod. Are you kidding me? It's like one of my favorite spots on the drive.
I love the leather. I love the leather code of
Yeah.
Leathermen.
And
They
I-
have very specific rules. Follow this rule. Follow this, and I love learning about that. I love Ramrod.
And Ramrod is a cornerstone of the community here in Wilton Manors. It's been around for a long time. It was named one of the best bars in Fort Lauderdale. It's certainly a staple of the nightlife scene.
By the way, many people have said on your road to Stonewall Salute, and it's happening out, you haven't done anything about the leather community. We have 2 more. 2 before Stonewall. Guess what, America? We think one of them is leather. Oh!
That's right.
Yeah. We got Mr.
Oh,
Ramrod.
wait, who is that?
This is Tom of Finland.
Tom of Finland. Never heard of him.
And we're talking about big dick energy, too.
Yeah. We got Mr. Ramrod
There
right
we
there.
go. More
Hey,
Ramrod.
baby.
Hey, Bob. How are you?
All right.
Fantastic DJ right here. We love all the guys from Ramrod.
And Friday night, Friday
they
night
look like
at
they're having
Ramrod.
so much fun.
Friday night at Ramrod is leather fetish night, and if you come in leather fetish, it's 2 for 1 on drinks.
Ah.
So.
And I love how their float is very, very diverse in terms of the nationalities, in terms of the body types.
Yeah.
It's just not all one. It is a rainbow of everything, but leather and hard sex.
Joe Brookman, look at this group here. They're the ones that are going to save the world. The Dolphin Democrats. It's coming
Yay.
November 3rd, 2020. What do you say, Joe?
Trump 2020.
Yeah.
Keep America great.
That's called equal time. We have to do that. The FCC requires it, right? No, they don't. No. I just...
But we can all agree on marriage equality.
I just flew on this airline to Lima, Peru. I flew to Lima on JetBlue, and it was a great experience. And I just flew to Havana on JetBlue.
Yep.
And even with everything that's going on in Cuba, JetBlue is the leader in the market to Cuba and much of the expanding Latin America world.
We love
And we appreciate
JetBlue.
JetBlue's support of the gay community in Stonewall.
And they are just a
Now,
wonderful airline.
I love this. The owner of the Grand Hotel, our partner, is Jewish. He is not here today because of the holiday, the rest holiday. But this is Ramat Shalom Synagogue. And we are thrilled that
Thank
the
you for
synagogue
being here
here
today.
is supporting Stonewall Pride.
Yes.
You honor the entire gay community by marching in this parade. Y'all,
Holy.
do
Holy,
any gay
holy.
guys and gay girls go to a gym?